stand up to a situation you're facing. In this video, I bring you 4 golden keys that will help you to rise above your fears, your anxieties, and your shame to bring forth your courage and greater self. Hello, my beloved friends. Thank you for tuning in today. This is Sista Joy. You know, I read in the dictionary a couple days ago, I looked up courage just to see what it said, and it talked about the fact that courage meant to become fearless, overcoming your adversity through a fearless spirit. I disagree with that because I have found it to be quite the contrary. There have been times when I've had to show forth courage, but it wasn't because I was fearless. It was in the face of fear. And I've come to understand that courage can only be developed in the face of fear. Your knees may be shaking. You might have a stammer in your voice, but you push on anyway. You feel the fear and do it anyway. This is what people who are successful do. Just like me and you, they feel the fear, but they don't let it stop them from going forth and doing whatever it is that they need to do. That's how they develop courage. And it's a muscle. We can develop it. You can develop it. It comes from taking action in the face of fear. And one of the golden keys to doing this is to strengthen your spirit. Because courage is, I think, one of the greatest virtues that we have. Because without it, you can do nothing. Where in your life are you lacking control right now? Is there a health challenge in your life? Maybe the doctors told you that you need a dangerous operation, and you are afraid to get it. Don't have the courage to take that step. Or maybe you are suffering from a financial situation. Something has come upon you and you have to get a certain amount of money to take care of it, but you don't know where in the world it's going to come from. So you've been hiding your head in the sand, hoping it will go away when you know it won't, but you don't have the courage to do something about it. Or could it be that you've lost a loved one, somebody that you've been dependent on all your life, and now you don't know what to do? You don't have the courage to stand on your own 2 feet, and you're afraid. Or maybe it's something else. I don't know. I know all of us go through challenges like these in our life where we need courage to take the next step. I know I have. And I want to share with you right now 4 things that I've done that have always helped me to get the courage I need. And I hope it will help you to do the same. Number 1, the very first thing you need to become more courageous is to strengthen your spiritual life. Strengthen your spirit, because you cannot hope to stand if you're weak in your spirit. Learn to pray. Get your Bible. Study the Word and learn the Word and start praying to God, because He said, "Lo, I am with you always." He said we must be courageous and be strong and know that He is always with us wherever we are. And when you begin to pray, you draw down the strength of God, the light of God, the peace of God, you draw down the power that you need to become courageous, to become the mighty woman of God that you are destined to be. You will develop courage. You will develop foresight and vision. God will give you an idea, take you to somebody. He'll give you the courage you need to overcome the situation you are faced with. So begin to pray. Begin to come ye apart and sup with me, and put your faith in God and your faith in the teachings of the Lord Jesus Christ, and you will be strengthened enough to get the courage you need to stand up in times of adversity. That is number one. Oh, I don't just talk about it. I know it because I have experienced it in my life. I know that prayer works. For more than 16 years, I was on the streets as a preacher, as a minister, an evangelist, singing and teaching and preaching in D.C. and in Chicago, and it was dangerous. Certainly not something that most people would choose to do, but God led me there. But it was through his prayers that I was kept safe from all harm. I remember one time when I was in Chicago down in the subways, and I had been going there every day singing and teaching and preaching. And there was one man that he hated me. You could see it. And he would come through there and he would just be cursing me and saying all kinds of things. And one night, I never will forget, I was there and I was singing and teaching and preaching. And this guy came up to me and got up in my face and told me what he was going to do. And he started to curse me real bad. And quite frankly, I became afraid. I lost my courage for a minute, but I stood still and I started to pray. And I asked God to help me. Please, Lord, send somebody to help me. And he did. Next thing I knew, I looked up and there were two homeless guys that I had helped through the years. They said, "Ma," they came up to me. They said, "Ma, is he bothering you?" I said, "Yeah." And they looked at him. They said, "You mother, you better get out of here." They started chasing him. He had a bicycle. I never will forget. He ran down in the subway and they were right after him. They went. And well, they came back a few minutes later and they said, "Ma, we stopped him. And if he bothers you again, you just let us know." Well, you see, that was the power of all those prayers that I've been praying. God will protect you and guide you and tell you what to do and where to go and who to see, and give you the courage to stand up for what is right. Number 2, write out what it is that you want to overcome. Put it down and write it and look at it. Write everything you can think of about it. What, who, what, when, where, how, and why. Okay? Why is it that you're afraid of this? What is it that you need to be doing? Write it all down, because writing has power. Sometime when we start writing, it's cathartic. We're able to get all of those things inside of us that we seem to be stuck on. We get them out. We get them down on paper. And then we have to do what some people call get to Dickens. And what that means is this: look at all the reasons why you need to get courage in your life. Write them down. Why? Why? Okay? Until you look at, does it outweigh your lack of courage? Having courage, getting the courage, will help you in all these different ways. I forget who it was. There's a great personal development guy who says it's called getting the Dickens. Okay, you putting down all the reasons for getting courage, and this will give you the this will give you the push that you need to help you to step out. Just step out there and go ahead and do what you need to do and get it done. Now, before I share with you the final golden key, if you are finding this video to be of value to you, then please go ahead and subscribe to this channel and hit that bell so that I can notify you when our next show comes on. Also, leave us a thumbs up and any comments that you want to say down in our comments section. Now, the third golden key that seems so simple and yet is so powerful is action. Like the old saying goes, action jackson. And the old African proverb says, when you pray, move your feet. And this is the most important part in gaining courage. Sometimes you have to just take a deep breath and push on in, but you have to take action in order to strengthen your courage muscles. And it's not always easy, but one of the things you can do is use your visualization to visualize yourself pushing through and doing whatever it is that you need to do in your life. I know years ago there was a man named W. Clement Stone that I sat on a board with. And Mr. Stone used 3 words that always helped him to get the courage he needed when he started out selling insurance and had to go from one office to another. Well, of course it was scary because he didn't know what was behind those doors. But he would use this. He'd say, do it now, do it now, do it now. And we can do the same thing when you are facing something that you need courage. Remember those words. Do it now. And when you use them, do it. Push yourself. You got to push yourself on through. And sometimes, I even think to myself, well, what's the worst thing that could happen? Think about that. What's the worst thing that could happen to you if you take courage and go ahead on and do what it is you need to do? What's the worst thing? And could you overcome it? I mean, what would happen to you if you did do it? And what would happen if you were successful? Think about that, because that's important too. I think about Queen Esther here because she saved her people. She said, I was born for such a time as this. She saved her people and she could have been killed. And she said, if I perish, I perish. But she went on anyway. And thank God she did, because she saved her people. These are 3 golden keys. They're simple, but they're powerful. And if you put them into action, you will become a much more courageous person than you are. Now, my beloved friends, I want to thank you for staying until the very end, and I hope this video was of benefit to you. And I want you to also know that I do have a bonus for you. I have 50 scriptures on courage from the Bible that I would like to send to you that you might memorize them and get them down in your spirit to help you during those times when you need courage the most. So go ahead and leave your email below, and I will send you a copy. Or you can write me for a copy at Sista Joy F. That's SistaJoyF @gmail.com. Until next week, good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, I want you to know that I love you, I bless you, I have faith in you, and I realize God in you. God bless you and keep you until we meet again. Bye-bye. Toodaloo.